Good morning, March 16th. Gosh, we're in it, guys. Spring break is here. It is for my family. Kids are out. Man, listen, if you were on 30A this weekend or anywhere in the area, probably 75 degrees. I don't think I found a cloud in the sky. I got out in the sun. What you see here is about as good as I can get, but I intentionally just stayed outside all day, whether it was going through properties and pricing them on Saturday morning, shooting some videos, getting out on the beach for a little bit. It's a nice pace. It's not crazy around here. You can get into restaurants. It's kind of like that sweet spot. And they're saying it's going to be that all spring. We're not having this huge rush where like everybody's on spring break at the same time. So the pace right now is amazing. Listen, we're going to get straight into the numbers. And you knew what we were doing last week, right? Strong pendings. New listings came down a little bit. We're just kind of trying to find that trend now that we're kind of like, let's call it, we're in the heart of it. We are busy. It's busy matched with patience. I'm going to talk to you about that again in a second. But like the amount of phone calls that I'm getting, the showings that we're having today, what types of properties are showing, what are not, like it's just a balance, right? We're going to talk more about that in a second, but let's get straight into the numbers. And I hope you guys are doing great. New listings, here we go. 74. Now listen, last week we had 73. Now, both of those are down from the 90 we had the previous 2 weeks ago, which were the ones that worried us the most. And I told you, and we've got a little bit of a trend, we've got properties going off as canceled. I'll look at that number in a second, going off as expired, and they're coming back into the number, okay? So there is still some of that going on. But what we look for on this channel is 3 weeks in a row to call it a trend. Right now, we're 2 weeks in a row with basically spot on the same number of listings. What I like is that we're not at 90. Now, let's see what we did on the pending to chop into that. 35. So last week we were at what, 48? That was as high as we've seen. Last week was a crusher. 35 is really close to that 50% mark that we want to be at, right? So the pendings, let me say, even though we went down from 48 to 35, can anybody just argue with the fact that the pending contracts, the number of contracts we're writing each week is saying super solid? Closed properties, 20, okay? Again, that's catching up from 30 to 60 days ago. Right at the beginning of the year. That's fine. Let's look at those canceled. 8, not as many as we had last time. Expired, 12. So here's what I'm watching. That's not as many expired and canceled properties. So what I'd like to see next week is that trend on the new listings actually comes down a little bit because we don't have as many canceled and expired properties going to market. Let's look at price changes. Price changes is back up a little bit, 63. I'm personally using a price change this week. Had a couple of them last week. It is working. It is amazing that a property can be sitting out there, and if you just move it into that sweet spot, it will find the right buyer, or somebody reaches out, or you get a showing request, right? You're just trying to find that spot, okay? We watch the views. All of my sellers get view reports. You can see spikes. You can see how you're doing online. You can see how many people saved you. You know what I mean? Like that's all telling. We'll get into that in a second. Overall, this week so far, very consistent to last week. I wish we were at the 48. I wish we were at the 48 pendings that we had last week. That would be phenomenal. But I'm not going to be mad about that when we're staying above elevated. Like 35 is right where we need to be. We want to stay consistent there. What I don't want is a lot of volatility on the pending, okay? At least not to dip down to like the 20s. We've been super solid. So listen, here's what's happening out there. It's consistent that the only thing consistent is that some properties and segments will get hot, and others that were hot will go cool. And then the cool ones get warm again, and it just floods back and forth. And I'm talking about the mix between the short-term rentals, the second homes, the primary market. It's just kind of moving and flowing, okay? So what's picked up of late is that the short-term rental investors have come out to play a little bit more than they have. A lot of my stuff in that range has been busy. Okay. Some of the other stuff that was busier at the first of the year is kind of cooled off, but that's no reason to panic, right? What we're mainly concerned is watching these numbers and making sure that we're doing transactions. Okay. The buyers out there are going to do what they do. There are patient people right now, but I will tell you buyers again, do not, I'll warn you, I talked to several of you this week, and I'm not even exaggerating, 3 of you. And I know there's still a tendency to watch a property, hoping it continues to come down to this magic number that will cause you to jump off the fence and then take action. And I'm trying to warn you, don't do that. There's enough buyers out there that you're going to find yourself in a mess with multiple people working the property. It is not unheard of for us to have multiple offers with a property that's been out on the market 60 to 90 days because it moves into a sweet spot. Okay. I saw one down the road on 393 this past week. It was a new listing. It closed over asking price. That's not because the market's crazy. It's because they priced that thing so well when they came out. Sellers would probably argue under what it should have been. Nonetheless, there were multiple buyers for the property, and it's a newer property in the $2 million range. Came on at like $1,099,000, closed at $2,050,000. That still happens. So it's just an indicator that, listen, if it hits the right price, I promise you, there are multiple people lined up for it. We are too busy for that not to be true. Guys, I'm going to bring somebody on here to more speak on this, but I was talking to several rental companies this week. Man, the rentals are doing rock solid. We're filling up a little bit stronger than we did on the extended forecast, like booking up for the summer. But the rates and everything looks good. I'm gathering a lot of this rental info for some of these segments and some of these neighborhoods that we're working for the rental investors. And it's looking good. Like it's looking solid, something you can depend on. So listen, spring break week, excited about it. It's our personal spring break. We're running around like crazy. Some great listings coming up. I continue to hear from a lot of you. And yes, I know today I zoomed in a little bit more. I know that the picture behind me looks like a headdress. I had somebody laugh about that and tell me, I know, I've heard that before. It's a beautiful palm. I'm going to leave it up there. But when I'm zoomed out, yes, it looks like I'm wearing a headdress in here. Listen, appreciate all of you. I am working with so many of you. And again, this week, I am lining up some interviews. Some of you were great about sending me some referrals on people to talk to. And there's so much going on with beach renourishment, public accesses, things like that. We're going to bring on some people and dive into it. Okay. Going to bring you more of a show on this each week. So appreciate you. That's where we are. We're staying super steady is the mark that we want to talk about this week. Staying steady. We know where we need to price it. And if you price it correctly, it will go under contract. Hang in there. Appreciate all of you and talk to you soon.